As I'm refining this format, sometimes I'll do a video intro and at other times an audio one, just like this, or I'll go straight into the essay, depending on the subject matter. Either way, I'll try to keep the intros as concise as possible, although like the previous Enoch Burke one, at times I may have a more in-depth intro to lay the foundation for the essay. So, let's get into today's one. This one came to me while I was doing my taxes and is going somewhere, so stay with it. Today's essay is called Gubberment is Grate. The taxman is hungry and wants more money. First up, there's the car tax, which is due tomorrow. I have to keep that wolf from the door and give him his dinner. Then, there's the self-assessment, and I'm a few years behind on that one, and he wants to have his way there also. Not good, at least not for me. I'll just have to roll with it. What can I do? He's got a big stick and will give me a good beating if I don't comply. It's the world we live in, and the taxman comes in all shapes and sizes. He's there at the fuel station looking on as I fill up with overpriced diesel. And then he's on Amazon.com adding on all that import duty. And just like Ryanair, he's in my payslip adding on all those extras, helping himself to the fruit of my labour. There's no escape. He's an awful man to be acquainted with, and I wouldn't want to get to know him too well. I'd prefer to keep him as an occasional friend, like someone you'd bump into on the street, but don't see too often. Not someone you'd meet up for coffee or a drink in the pub every so often. No, not a good idea. In that situation, he'd probe me and find out what I'm up to, wanting even more from me, much more than I'm prepared to hand over. Yes, one has to be careful these days and not give away too much. There's always someone looking over your shoulder. Out of curiosity, they'd say. I like to keep my cards close to my chest with no blathering to others about what I'm up to here and what I'm up to there. Before you know it, I'd have a string of government agents telling me everything I'm doing wrong in my life. TV license, property tax, carbon tax, and every other kind of dreamed up tax. The list is endless. So, I got rid of the TV. That's how I got around that one. That'll show him. I thought you had to pay it even if you've got internet, someone said to me. That's where you're going wrong, I replied. I'll bet you didn't even read the law, I continued. No, I didn't. Well, that explains it, I went on. And I suppose you didn't read the law on face coverings either, I inquired further. No, I didn't. Sure, it's no wonder you were going around the place in distress, unable to breathe. Yes, indeed. Government love to play all these little games, just to keep us on our toes and see what they can get out of us. Injections, masks, taxes. They love all these shenanigans. It gives their lives purpose, imposing this regulation or that one, just to see how much they can piss us off. They're very good at it, as there are no shortage of do-gooders in government. Let's build more cycle lanes that nobody uses to drive motorists mad. And let's make up a story that it's good for the planet and that car tailpipes change the weather. Yes, they've got a lot of mileage out of that one, pardon the pun. All they need for that to work is a few loud cranks on the radio or in social media, like that oddball Right to Bike It on X, cycling around with his helmet camera, shouting at every perceived offence by some random driver. Yes, government agents are everywhere, watching and monitoring all the time, making sure you're safe and not harming yourself. Isn't that great? Because it means that I don't have to look after myself. Government daddy will do it. I don't have to be responsible for anything in my life anymore. It's all in government daddy's safe hands. Government daddy just moved 600 migrants into a village of 300, just to help them out. There was a shortage of doctors and engineers in the community, you see, so it all makes sense. Sure, isn't it great? All this diversity and inclusion. Sure, the migrants have to be helped out too because we are responsible for the whole world. If you think we aren't, then I would ask you, where's your humanity? And sure, isn't this where all my aforementioned taxes come in? All my extortionate taxes funded this. Isn't it great to know that all our taxes are being used responsibly to help the whole world out and bring them all here to live in tents and hotels, formerly used by tourists, where they spend all day playing Space Invaders? Sure, aren't these far better tourists to have around than those loud Americans checking out their Irish roots? Give those doctors and engineers €500 a week and a promise of a free house. Isn't that what our taxes are there for in the first place? Sure, how did we ever manage without all these Africans and Indians? I don't know how we coped. What would be really great is if we replaced the whole Irish population with them, just like Conor McGregor was on about. Then there would be no Irishness here anymore. And sure, what's wrong with that? The upside is that it would all be in the name of humanity. And sure, aren't we all Muhammad and Ahmed now? Besides, all cultures are equal, even those that want to kill you. Isn't government great? Yes, Gubberment Akbar.